Okay, so everybody go ahead and open your religion book or look at page 24. Page 24. There's like a gold bar across the top that says Scripture Account, the Story of Creation. And then you see the Bible, the attribution, or where it comes from in the Bible. It comes from Genesis chapter 1, verse 1 through 31, and Genesis chapter 2, verses 1 and 2. So we know this whole chapter is about creation. Why did God create the earth? Why did God create, or really everything that we know? Why did God create it? Zari?
Because he wanted us to have eternal life.
Not quite what I'm looking for. It's because, well, he created it the way he created it to make us happy. But why did he create everything? We talked about this on Tuesday. Michaela? Well, that's why he created it beautifully. That's why he created it the way. He could have just given us what we need and nothing more. But he gave us everything, like mountains and everything and weather and all of that to make us happy, to make us enjoy it. But why did he create everything? What is the one reason that he created everything? Victoria. Zadie.
To love and worship him forever.
That's why he created angels. Aaron.
To share his goodness and love.
Where did you see that?
On page 23, it says, why did God create everything? And it says the answer right there.
In what box?
Concepts of faith.
Good. So everybody look at page 23. Look at the box with the purple heading right in the middle that says Concepts of Faith. Aaron, one more time. Why did God create everything?
To share his goodness and love.
To share his goodness and love. So was I asking you to kind of come up with something out of nowhere? You remembered, some of you did remember one part of Tuesday's lesson, which was he created the world to be beautiful in order for us to enjoy it. However, the reason he created it in the first place was to share his goodness and love. He created it so that it is beautiful and enjoyable so that we would be happy. Okay, so let's look at page 24, and we're going to read the story of creation. Now, this is something that most of you have probably heard many times. Well, the more you listen to it, the more you remember it. So does it hurt to hear something a million times? No. And this is just yet another account of creation. So what we're going to do is each person is just going to read one little block of text at a time. That means some of you may have to read more than once because I think there are more than 10 paragraphs. But we're going to read the story of creation. So once you get to the end of a block of text, stop and I'll call the next person, even if it's really short. Zadie.
In the beginning.
Remember, we're still following with our fingers. Anytime we read anything, you need to follow with your finger. Put your finger underneath, not on top, because then you put the words in a shadow, and you're more likely to accidentally skip a line or reread a line. Make sure you're moving your finger as she's reading. So this is another reason why when you are reading, you need to make sure you read slowly. First of all, so that you read all the words and you read them correctly. Second of all, so that everybody else can keep up with you. And then read loud so that we can all hear where you are, especially the girls at home.
In the beginning, there was only God. Then, because of his goodness and love, God made everything from nothing.
Good. I know it's short, but... Kingston, read next.
God made the angels to share heaven with him. The angels are persons with minds to think and wills to make choices. The angels are pure spirits. They do not have bodies.
What do they have, Kingston?
Minds to think and will
Very good. That's why they're pure spirits. Colin, your mom's on her way. So in about 20 minutes, you'll go downstairs.
Oh, it takes me like 5.
Well, she said to send you down right at 1. She sent me a text. Okay. Very good. So what did God create first? What did we just read that God created first? Zari?
He created the angels.
Good. He created the angels. Why did he create the angels? Zadie?
To share heaven with them.
To share heaven with them. Good. Okay, read next. Smith. Make sure you're following with your finger.
When God created the heavens and the earth was without form and
Remember what OI says when it's next to each other.
void.
You want to remember what O and I, when O and I are together, they sound like, can you see that?
Void.
Yes, so what is that word?
Void.
Void. Like
Void.
in, it sounds like oi, so void, void.
When God created the heavens and the earth was without form and void. It was converted
Not
with,
converted, not
with
converted.
water and darkness.
Smith, not converted. What does that say? It was,
Covered.
there you go.
It was covered with water and darkness was everywhere.
So what that means, the earth was without form and void. Void means nothing. There is nothing there. Without form means no shape. We know the earth is shaped like what? Don't tell me a circle. Circle's flat. Circle's flat. Is the earth flat? So what's it shaped like? Kingston? A sphere. Remember, a sphere is like a ball. It's a 3D circle. A sphere. Well, without form means it wasn't shaped like a sphere. A sphere. It had no shape at all because there was nothing there. It was void. Nothing. Not at all. Empty. Okay, thank you, Smith. Read next. Ethan. Loud and slow. Make sure you're following along with your finger.
Then God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. God said that the light
Not
was
said. He didn't said.
God saw that the light was good. God separated the light from the darkness. He called the light day and the darkness night. And there was evening and there was morning one day.
So we know. What did God create first? Who answered that question earlier?
Sorry.
Zari, what did God create first?
Angel.
Angels, not angles. Angels, E-L. What did God create second? Michaela?
Light,
Light. And
darkness,
darkness. So actually I'm going to number these a little differently. Because the first day, God created light and darkness. This was before. Before he started to create what we know of in this universe, he created angels. Day 1, he created light and darkness. Colin.
God spreaded the water from the sky.
Not spreaded. What does that say? Cover up the D. And what is that word?
Spread.
Look at where the spread. Colin? S-E-P. F.
Sep.
Sep.
Rate. Id.
Separated.
Separated.
There you go. Read that sentence again.
God separated the water from
Hold
the
on. We're going real fast, so it's hard for us to keep along. Okay? A little louder.
God separated the water from the sky. God caused the sky heaven, and there was evening and there was morning, a second day.
So what did God create next? First, he created the what, Zari?
Angels.
Then he created what, Michaela?
Light and darkness.
And then on day 2, he created what? Kingston.
The water and fire. The water and fire.
So, the water is on what? Earth. And the sky is called what? So on day 2, he created what, Kingston? Just heaven? Heaven and earth. Heaven and earth. So now heaven is separated from our universe. Okay, read next. Victoria. Use your finger. Every single person, use your finger to follow along.
And God said, let the waters.
Louder.
And God said,
Ooh, I messed up. Sorry. Kingston, you were on the right track. You were trying to correct me.
but actually, didn't there was water already on earth and created it.
So, he created the sky, or let's see, heaven, and what is it? Oh, I can't remember. I learned this millions of times. Aaron? Heaven and sky. Sky is not proper. Neither is heaven. So, Kingston, I'm sorry. What did he create on day 2?
Heaven and sky.
Heaven and the sky.
Also, technically, he also didn't create darkness on the earth.
What? He created darkness on day 1. He created light, which he called it day, and he called the darkness night. So he created light and darkness, or night and day. Okay, Victoria, I'm sorry. Start again.
And God said, let the waters under the heavens be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear. He gathered some of the water to the great oceans. Some of the water he gathered into fresh water, lakes and streams. God made the dry land to appear, and he called the dry land the earth. God saw that it was good.
Have we started a new day yet?
No,
No, but what has he created next?
he has created the earth
Earth. So day 3,
and
he creates earth. Well, he didn't create the water because the water was already there. He didn't create the water on day 3, right? Because it was already there. But he did create earth. But day 3 hasn't finished yet, because did it say, and there was evening, and there was morning, a third day? No. So are we finished with day 3 yet?
no.
No. Carla, go ahead and finish reading to us about day 3. Loud and slow so we can follow along. Everybody, where's your I want to see your finger. Carla, don't forget to unmute yourself.
I forgot what paragraph that we was on because my parent was talking to
Okay.
my mom.
It's Then God said, let the earth.
Then God said,
Make sure you're going slow, Carla, so that we can follow.
let the waters
Not let the waters,
the
let-
heaven,
Carla, not let the waters. That's and God said. I said, then God said, let the earth.
Then God said, let the earth put forth vegetation.
Vegetation. Remember, Carla, if you get to a word and it's not making sense how you say it, think about it before you say it out loud. Vegetation.
Vegetation, plants,
Remember how
Yep.
IE sounds.
the
When IE are together, they sound like E. So, yielding.
yielding seeds and fruit tree bearing fruits, and which is in their seeds, each according
Make sure you're using your fingers so you don't lose your space because it's kind of small.
according to its kind. So it happened. God covered the earth with all kinds of plants and many trees of vegetation.
Now, go slow. When OU is together, it sounds like That I sounds like Y. So it's there, E.
There a very shape
Oh,
and
you
size.
forgot the OUS. You forgot the OUS. Very, remember O and U when they're together usually sound like So very,
Various
No, Carla,
Shape.
there's no U. There's no U. There's no U sound. There's no long U sound. It's a short U sound. Remember, short U sounds like Only long vowel sounds say their name. So try that word again, Carla. Various.
various shapes and sizes, including the trees with fruits. The earth was full of color and beautiful to the look at. God saw that it was good, and there was evening and there was morning, a third day.
So, we know earth was created on the third day. What else was created on the third day? Earth and what, Ethan? Vegetation, which is another word for what? Plants. Earth and plants. So, Zari, what was created first?
Angels.
Make sure you're sitting so I can see you. I don't know what you don't need to be up right now. Michaela, what was created next on day 1? Light and darkness. On day 2, Kingston, what was created? Heaven and sky. Day 3, what was created first on day 3, Victoria? What was created first on day 3? What was created second on day 3, Ethan? Plants. Okay, read next. Cullen.
Then God made 2 great lights, the greater light, the sun, to rule the day, and the lesser light, the moon. He made to shine at night. He also made
Hold on, Cullen. I need to see everybody's fingers. I don't see everybody's fingers. Sorry, let's read that sentence. He also
made the stars to shine at night. God sent them in the heavens to give light upon the earth, to rule over the day and over the night, and to separate the light from the darkness. And there was evening and there was morning, a fourth day.
Good. Helen, you can go ahead. So what was created on day 4? We finished day 4 because we see, and then there was an evening, and then there was morning, a fourth day. What was created on day 4? Zadie, have you answered one yet? If you haven't answered one yet, have you? Okay, Zadie, what was created on day 4?
The moon and the sun.
The sun, the moon. Is that it? Have a good weekend. I'll send your mom the video.
And the stars.
And the stars. Zari, what was created first?
Angels.
Michaela, what was created on day 1?
Light and darkness.
Light and darkness. Kingston, what was created on day 2? Heaven and sky. Victoria, what was created first on day 3? Earth. Ethan, what was created second on day 3?
Plants.
What was created on day 4, Zadie?
The sun, the moon, and the stars.
Very good. Okay, read next. Zari, loud and slow. Make sure I need to see everybody's finger. Ready to follow? Hold on, Zari. When I see everybody's finger, I'll tell you to go. Okay, go ahead.
Then God said, "Let there be waters."
No,
Bringing
wait, hold on, Zari.
forth-
Zari, hold on. Not let there be waters. What does it say?
Then God said, "Let the waters bring forth swarms of living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth." He filled the waters with
Oh, what is that word?
whales,
There you go.
fish, and many different swimming creatures. God says
Not God
that
says.
it
God, not God says. God.
God saw that it was good and blessed. And there was evening and there was morning, a fifth day.
Good. What did God create on day 5? We saw, and there was evening, and there was morning, a fifth day. So what did God create on day 5? Aaron, have you done one yet? You haven't done one yet, have you? So what did he create on day 5, Aaron? So how should we put that? Marine life? Well, we'll say fish because we know that includes water creatures. That's what we'll call them. Water creatures. Sea life. That's what I should have said. Except, well, but also is like lakes and rivers and all that. So that's why we just have to include water creatures because the sea is like salt water. But lakes and rivers and ponds, most of them are fresh water. Kingston, do you have a better word?
What about water?
Water life. I like that better than creatures. Creatures sounds like made up things, like monsters and stuff. So yes, water life. We'll call it that. And what else, Aaron? And birds. Birds are birds, so we don't have to come up with something else. So before day 1, Zari.
Angels.
Day 1, Michaela.
Light and dark.
Day 2, Kingston. You're saying the same thing every time. Heaven and sky. Day 3, first, Victoria. Day 3, second, Ethan. Loud so we can all hear.
Plants.
Day 4, Zadie.
The sun, the moon, and the stars.
Day 5, Aaron.
Water, life, and birds.
Water, life, and birds. Good. Now, read next. Ethan, loud and slow. Loud so we can all hear you. Low so that we can follow. Slow so we can follow along. Everybody's finger on the page, ready to follow.
Then God said, let the earth bring forth living creatures.
A little louder, a little slower.
Then God said, let the earth bring forth living creatures, cattle, creeping things, and beasts of the earth of all kinds. So it happened. God made all the animals of the earth. God said that it was good.
Good. So have we ended day 6 yet, Ethan? No, because we haven't seen evening and morning past day 6. But what did he create first on day 6? Oh, somebody else. You've already answered one. Smith, what did he create first on day 6?
The animals of the land.
Land animals. Ooh, you know what? I like water life, but I just realized that also includes plants. And he'd already created the plants. So I'm going to change water life to water animals. Because the plants were already created on day 3. So water animals were created on day 5. So land animals have now been created. Thank you, Ethan. Let's continue with day 6. Aaron, loud and slow. Everybody finger ready to follow? Hold on, Aaron. I'll tell you when. When I see everybody's finger, I'll tell you when. Go ahead.
Then God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them rule over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the air, over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. God created man in his image. In the divine image he created him. Male and female he created them. God blessed them.
Is the 6th day over yet, Aaron?
No.
No, because we still haven't seen, and there was evening and there was morning, a 6th day. But what did God create next on day 6? Carla?
He made
And then the other one says
people.
People. So land animals and people. So, Zari, what did he create first before the world even began?
Angels.
Michaela, what did he create on day 1?
Light and darkness.
Light and darkness. On day 2, Kingston, what did he create? Heaven and the sky. Day 3, what did he create first, Victoria? Louder.
Earth.
And Ethan, what did he create next on day 3?
Plants.
And on day 4, what did he create, Zadie?
The sun, the moon, and the stars.
And on day 5, what did he create? Aaron?
Water, animals, and birds.
And on day 6, what did he create first? Smith?
Land animals.
And on day 6, what did he create second, Carla?
I'm sorry,
He
say
made-
again, press what?
People.
People. Very good. Read the next bit. Oops. Michaela.
And God saw everything.
Wait, hold on. Everybody finger ready to follow. When I see everybody's finger ready to follow, go ahead.
And God saw everything he had made, and behold, it was very good. And there was evening, and there was morning, a 6th day.
So did he create anything else on the 6th day? No. Okay, read next. Kingston, loud and slow. Loud so we can all hear you, including those at home and the video that Cullen will watch later. and slow so that we can keep up. Everybody, finger ready to follow along. We're on page 25 now.
So it was that God. So it was that God created the first man.
You're going a little fast.
And the first woman, Eve. Adam and Eve were different from the rest of God's creations. Only Adam and Eve were persons with bodies created in the image of God, with minds and wills.
So, Adam and Eve, aka people, were the first of their kind. Because he had created creatures, things, in his image before. Who had he created in his image before he created humans? Smith.
Angels.
Angels, because they had what two things, Smith?
Minds and wills.
Minds and wills. Were the light and darkness created in God's image, class?
No.
What about heaven and sky?
All right, so I've got it
Yes.
selected.
What about earth and plants?
No.
No. Sun, moon, and stars?
No.
No. Water, animals, and birds?
No.
No. Land animals?
No.
What about people?
Yes.
Yes. But people were special because not only were they created like angels with a mind and a will, but they also had what? Michaela? Bodies. Good. Hey. Thank you, Kingston. Read next, Smith. Now you are going to read more than one section just because one section is only one line. So you get to read the next two indented sections. Actually, no, you'll do the next three because there's two that are only like part of one line.
God gave to Adam and Eve the care of the wonderful world he had made and everything in it. When God completed all his work of creation, he rested.
Pause. It doesn't say day 7, but what did he do on day 7? Somebody who hasn't, has everybody put one up here at this point? Yeah, except for Cullen. But, so day 7. Did God create anything, class?
No.
What did he do? Everybody, rested. Yes. God rested. What did he do on day 7, class?
Rested.
So, before, what did he create, Zari?
Angels.
On day 1, what did he create, Michaela?
Light and darkness.
On day 2, what did he create, Kingston? Loud.
Heaven and sky.
On day 3, what did he create first, Victoria? What did he create second? On day 4, what did he create, Zadie?
The sun, the moon, and the stars.
On day 5, what did he create, Aaron?
Water, animals, and birds.
On day 6, what did he create first, Smith?
Land animals.
And what did he create second, Carla?
Select.
People.
print, side.
And class, what did God do on day 7?
He rested.
He rested. Very good. Okay, Smith, keep reading. Those the last little bit there. Not the last little bit, but the next little bit, sorry. Everybody, finger ready to follow along. This should be a habit after a while. I don't even have to say it. Everybody, finger ready to follow along. And Smith, go ahead.
God did not have to create the angels, human beings, or the world. God freely chose to create all things to share his goodness and love.
Good. Does God have a mind to think and a will to choose? Yes. That's what it means when it says we are created in his image. God has a mind and a will. Angels have a mind and a will. Humans have a mind and a will. That is how we are created in his image. Does God have a body?
Nope.
Zari?
No.
No. Do angels have a body? Zadie?
No.
Do humans have a body? Carla?
Yes.
Yes, so humans are the first of their kind. They have minds and wills like angels and God, but they have a body, unlike angels and God. So remember, angels and humans are alike because we all have minds and wills. We are different because they don't have a body, but we do. Plants and animals are similar to humans because we all have bodies. But we are different because we have a mind and a will and they don't. Quickly.
And we're also animals like them.
We are animals. Scientifically, we are animals, but the animals of the land and the animals of the water, like God created. Yes, we are scientifically, we are animals, which we'll talk about in the next chapter of science. Okay, thank you, Smith. Zadie, read the last little bit. Everybody, finger ready to follow along. Go ahead.
When God created the world, everything was beautiful and in harmony. Everything had a proper place and was in proper order. Everything worked together to survive and fulfill God's plan. God gave people the responsibility of taking care of all of his gifts.
Were Adam and Eve the only people who had that responsibility to take care of God's gifts? Were Adam and Eve the only ones who had that responsibility to take care of God's gifts? Ethan? No. Who else has that responsibility? You can do it. Who else has the responsibility to take care of God's gifts? Like the earth and the water and the trees and the animals. Think about it. Carla?
Us.
Us. That is the job of every single human being that God ever created. All the way from Adam and Eve until in the future, whenever, forever. It is every single human being's responsibility to take care of God's gifts, including us. Yes, Sadie?
It was in the last sentence I read because it says, God gave people the responsibility of taking care of his gifts.
Good. Now, Adam and Eve were the first ones to have that responsibility, but all people that came after also have that responsibility. Okay, let's look at the questions on page 26. I'm going to read the questions out loud, but you're going to write the answers down because I need religion grades. In a complete sentence. That might mean that you have to incorporate the question in order to make it a complete sentence. So you can't just write one word, because just writing one word and putting a period at the end, does that make it a sentence? Nope, it needs a subject and a predicate, which means you might have to incorporate the question. So number 1, who made the world and everything in it? Go ahead and write your answer. Make sure you write it in a complete sentence. Carla, write your answer.
I don't have it.
Oh, you don't? Okay. Do you have a piece of clean paper?
I have to get out my clean paper binder.
Okay, go ahead and do that quickly because we do have a little bit of time. So do it as quickly as you can. So number 1 says, who made the world and everything in it? Don't forget to make it a complete sentence. You might have to incorporate the question. That means include words from the question to make it a complete sentence. If you're not finished with number 1, just pause for a second. I will give you about 5 minutes to answer these questions, but I'm going to go ahead and read number 2. Why did God create the world? Make sure to write in a complete sentence. Yes, Amy.
Can we look back?
Yes. Remember, the only time you can't look back is a test. Everything else, except for science and social studies, because you get to look back on those. Everything else, homework, independent practice, guided practice, whatever, studying, you may look back. So Carla, number 1, What Pope Benedict is saying in that blue box on page 26 is that if we spend all of our time thinking about the bad things that happen to us, that happen to other people, that happen around us, the mean, the ugly, the false, that means untrue, are we going to be happy? Zadie?
No.
What do we need to search for to be happy? What do we need to search for to be happy? Michaela?
Joy.
It will bring us joy if we find these things and if we focus on these things. Smith?
The true.
The truth. Victoria? The goodness of the world, the good things in the world. Aaron? The beauty, the beautiful things. The beautiful people, the beautiful places, the beautiful acts. That means, what do people do that's beautiful? We don't think of things that people do that are beautiful. But they are. They are. Kindness is beautiful. We just don't think of it. We think of like visual things. But our actions can be beautiful. Okay. So now let's look at that diagram at the bottom. Does anybody know what that diagram is called? When you have two circles and they meet in the middle? Kingston? There's a name for it. It's called, wait, does anybody know? It is called a Venn diagram. A Venn diagram. You've probably heard that term before. Yes, Kingston?
I'm talking about the middle now. This one's kind of a little bit small. There's something like this.
You're going to have to write real small. Yeah, you are going to have to write really small for this. So, a Venn diagram is a way to compare and contrast. So when you have a Venn diagram, you usually have two different items. In this case, we're talking about angels and humans. So we have our two circles. This circle on the on the left is for angels. This circle on the right is for humans. So what we have in each big part is what's different about them. Now you're going to have to write teeny tiny. Practice writing teeny tiny. In each circle, in the big parts of the circle is what's different. In the middle, we write what is the same. So do you see that? We have two circles with different objects or different things. They each have their own stuff, but if we put them together, what they share goes in the middle. So, what should we put in angels only? Well, what do angels have that humans do not have? Think about it. Ooh, this was from last chapter. You may not remember. Let's think about what they both have first. What do both angels and humans have? Michaela? Minds. And Zadie? Wills. What do humans have that angels do not have? Carla? Bodies. And what do angels have that humans do not have? Let's see, this was from the last chapter. Zari, do you remember?
I just had it.
Aaron?
They have full knowledge of what's going to happen.
So there's something we can write. Good. They have full knowledge of what their choices can make. So that means it's that S word. Does anybody remember? Smith?
Superior.
what? Superior is an adjective. That means better than anybody else. Superior what, Smith?
Superior minds.
Good. Superior minds. Because remember it said they have more wisdom, which means the ability to choose the correct thing, and more intellect. That means what they know. They know more, which means they have superior intellect. They are able to understand the good and the bad better than we are, which means they have superior wisdom. So does everybody understand a Venn diagram? You use them to compare and contrast two things. The things that are different about them go in the big parts of the circle. The things that are the same go in the place where they meet. You can see the colors here help you to see angels are green, humans are blue, and where they meet is kind of a bluish green, like a turquoisey color. You guys don't have to write this, but before we finish, let's think of animals. And I know humans are animals, but I'm saying animals the way that like we use it regularly, like non-scientifically. What is the same? So let's compare and contrast animals and humans. What is the same about animals and humans? Kingston? We both have bodies.
And also brains.
And brains. Well, which that's included in our bodies. Our bodies include all of our organs and everything else. Zadie?
And we're both mammals.
Not all animals are mammals.
Oh, yeah.
Humans are mammals, but not all animals are mammals, because what about reptiles and amphibians and all those, and insects? Those aren't mammals. So is there really anything else that's the same about humans and animals? Not scientifically animals, because we are animals. There's really nothing else that's the same. We both have bodies. Well, we both live on Earth, I guess. But really, it's more, we both have bodies. What's different? Zari.
That animals don't have minds like we do. They can't think like we do.
Good. So, they can't think or do what else like we do, Zari? Or do what?
Talk.
Well, we think and we... Carla?
They can't think or
What does our will help us to do, Carla?
will let us
Minds let us
have
think.
choice.
Choose. So they can't think or choose like we can. They do think and choose, but it's a very different way. They don't really understand their choices.
Carla, can you mute? Oh, okay.
They can't think or choose like we do because they don't really understand their choices the way we do. They make choices based on instinct, which means they're not thinking about their choices. They're just doing what feels right as an animal. Well, what's different about humans? Kingston. Wait, did you answered bodies, didn't you? Let's give another person. Victoria.
What's different is that we wear clothes and we have like intelligence.
So what do we have that animals don't have?
We have a mind and a will.
So what's different is we have minds and
And
wills.
also angels are pure spirits.
That means that they have minds and wills but no body. Okay, good. So usually also with a Venn diagram, what you do is for everything that's different, you have to match it on both sides. So if it's different, you have to say, okay, well, animals can't think or choose like we do. And that's different because we have minds and wills. Like I said, we have minds. We can think about our choices before we make them. Animals don't really think about their choices. They just do it because that's what their brain is telling them to do. So they don't really think. They just do it because it's instinct. That's what it feels right for them to do as an animal. So they don't think about the consequences of their choices like we should. Sometimes we don't either, but we should. Animals don't have the intellect we have, so they can't really think about the consequences of their choices because they have no idea what's going to happen. So it's like angels know everything. We can think about it, and we can think about what may happen, but we don't know exactly what's going to happen. Well, animals don't even think about what's going to happen because they don't have the intellect that we have. Their brains do not work like ours do. Okay, well, that's really it for our lesson today. So if anybody has any questions or comments, we do have, oh no, it's actually time to pack up. Whoops.
No?
So quickly. Oh wait, it's Friday. I forgot. It's time for our spelling test. Yes, so quickly.
And all humans are mammals, and not all animals are.
Good. So yeah, so that is a way, that's called, there's a specific name for that, but I can't remember what it is, where all humans are mammals, but not all mammals are humans, but I can't remember what it is. Okay, quickly, Kingston.
I was going to say,
Well, if you're telling me something different or the same, this is kind of what we're looking at. Because we're kind of looking at with angels, like the way God created us. So he created us and angels with minds and wills, but angels have no bodies while we do. And he created animals and humans with bodies, but we have minds and wills, and they don't. Well, all we need to know is that we both have bodies for this. There's other scientific things, but we're just talking about the way God created us. Okay.